CV Boats presents Florida Sport Fishing, television for the avid angler, powered by Mercury Marine. Oh, yeah. On this episode of Florida Sport Fishing.
Nice way to start the morning. There it is. I mean, you're done. That's a strip bait rig.
Florida Sport Fishing TV proudly utilizes and endorses Spool Tech, Hyperlastics, Engage, and Ocean-borne lures. Stay connected with the next generation of innovative and effective soft and hard baits for every venue. Taco Marine, official outrigger system of Florida Sport Fishing TV. Salt Life Optics, anti-glare Zeiss lenses provide unparalleled protection and polarization.
Hi, and welcome to Florida Sport Fishing TV. I'm Captain Mike. Aboard our Mercury-powered CV, got a really cool show in store for you. I'm gonna do a little bit of solo fishing. You know, every now and then I get the itch to fish alone. Really serene, you know, you don't have to answer to anybody. Also gives me a great opportunity to do some research and practice new techniques, new rigs, things to that nature without worrying about too much what we catch. You know, a lot of trial and error kind of stuff going on. And really anybody could fish alone, you know. We're in a 39-foot center console, perfectly safe, you know, easy to handle for one person, this CV, and really any boat, you know, obviously any type of open fisherman, you can do this as well. A couple of keys with fishing alone, and we're gonna talk a lot about this throughout the day, is safety. You've gotta take safety into consideration. It needs to be your #1 consideration. You know, make sure for starters that somebody on dry land knows where you are at all times, you know, constantly monitoring where you are. I've got friends, family on land that can track my phone. I've got, you know, multiple safety devices on the boat, EPIRB, personal locator beacons. So God forbid in the event anything happens, it's easy to find me, you know, and that's important to me. #1 concern is safety. Also, you know, a lot of people are concerned, well, what if I fall overboard? And we're gonna talk about that as well. You know, I wear a First Mate. It's a Mercury product, but it's also compatible with other outboard engines. Just a little nifty kind of smartwatch type of band. And in the event you were to fall overboard, it's connected via Bluetooth to the boat. It immediately disconnects, engines die, and of course you can get back to the boat. Additionally, it also sends out signals to family and friends and loved ones that an incident occurred. So again, just another safety feature. I carry a ditch pack right below the console here, right below the leaning post, I should say, that has enough safety equipment to keep me alive for months on a deserted island, if not longer. Kill switch, you know, again, another safety feature in the event you were to fall on the boat. So that's first and foremost, you know, is making sure that you're safe. Finally, you know, I'm getting an early start here because I'm going to go out and fish a couple of planers. Not a big spread, but just fish some fresh strip bait, see if I can pick off some kings or maybe even get lucky and catch a wahoo this morning. And I've got night track on the boat, which enables me to see at night on my Furuno multifunction display as if it's daytime. Finally, one other thing that we're going to be talking a lot about today is Furuno's new GC. It's a new gesture controller that's interfaced, again, via Bluetooth with my NavPilot, my AutoPilot, and it enables me to control what direction the boat is moving or turning in with the point. You know, either I can push a button or point and click, you know, or literally just point this in the direction that I want the boat to move in and just push a button. So this is something we're going to be talking a lot about as well. So stick around, we're about to go out the inlet here, we'll get offshore, put a couple of baits out and see if we can get tight. Just got set up here off of Deerfield, working our way up toward Boca. We got the first planer out with a strip bait. We got smacked. It certainly doesn't feel like the wahoo that I'm looking for yet, but slide this up to the side. Tell you, I love planer fishing. One of my favorite styles of fishing, especially when targeting wahoo and king mackerel, is planer fishing. It's a staple, been in use down here for decades. And I'll tell you what, incredibly effective. There we go. How's that to start the morning right there? Nice smoker. Whew. Man, it gave me a workout too. Oh yeah. Look at that. Fat one. Fat one. Get that gaff out of him. And right there. That's a great way to start the morning. Look at that. That hook came right out of him. Just a bonita strip, and absolutely fell right out of him, right at the last second. Let's clear our deck here. Again, when fishing alone, I can't stress how important it is. Keep everything organized, everything clean. Everything at your fingertips that you need. And just slow it all down. Take your time. Calm down. That's a nice king mackerel right there, huh? Nice way to start the morning. 2 minutes into fishing. Fiberglass. They use it to build boats and yachts because of its strength and durability. And that's exactly what every frigid rigid cooler is made out of. This is my set after 12 years, and I keep them outdoors. With industrial grade rubber gasket and stainless steel hinges with backing plates, not a single component has failed on any of them. Can you honestly say that about your coolers? From 35 to 300 quarts, there's a frigid rigid cooler, coffin box, or freezer for every boat. Another one on the jig. Woo!
That's grouper dynamo.
Yeah! How's that for a sea monster?
Chaos. Gear matters. Shop online or visit our new superstore for everything fishing. Are you ready for a world-class adventure? Fishing up to 150 miles offshore and always on the hunt for untouched fisheries, the legendary 100-foot Yankee Capt is Florida's premier long-range headboat. Fish around the clock for trophy snapper, grouper, tilefish, tuna, and more. With all the comforts of home and plenty of elbow room, Captain Greg Mercurio and his dedicated crew will put you or your entire charter on a hot bite fishing the famed halfway ledge, Pulley Ridge, and beyond. Rated #1 in service, Yankee Capt sails from Key West year-round.
Fishing alone here this morning, and one of the tools that's allowing us to do this on this solo hunt here for wahoo is Furuno's new gesture controller. This is a little remote control, and it's Bluetooth connected to my AutoPilot. So I can work the cockpit right here. I can monitor my rods, and I can actually control what direction the boat is moving in with this little gesture controller. I've got a couple options here. I literally can move the boat in increments of 1 degree or 10 degrees by simply pushing a simple button, or I can point and click, and the boat will move in that direction. Really, really awesome tool. I'll tell you, technology has come so far, it's allowing us to explore new venues, new opportunities, and to do new adventures and new things that we've never been able to do before. And again, with Furuno's new gesture controller, like I said, I can stand in the cockpit, I can overlook my displays, I can control what direction I'm moving in. So it's literally another guy on the boat. It really is. Really, really awesome tool. Truth is, today's the first day that I'm using this. Just got it all dialed in. So far, so good. And I think you're gonna see a lot more of this on this season of Florida Sport Fishing TV. So I want to talk to you a little bit about our planer rods, because that's really what we're focusing right now, is fishing a couple of planers. Planer fishing can be incredibly effective, but I'll tell you what, it's all about the details. Every little factor plays a huge role. In our particular case, we've custom designed a pair of 8-foot rods specifically for this fishery. They've got plenty of backbone here. They're rated for 30 to 80 pound line. Okay, 8-foot, relatively soft tip, so I could see every strike. Even if I have a short strike, got the rod matched to an Alu Technos 30 wide. A lot of different reels out on the market that are compatible with planer fishing, whatever you're comfortable with. A couple of key features, plenty of drag capacity. That's absolutely vital because you're putting a tremendous amount of pressure on these planers, on these planer outfits. Low speed, something I have really found to be a huge benefit. A 2-speed reel with low gear, low speed, will really enable you to reel in that planer much more effectively, much easier. As far as line capacity, obviously you don't need a tremendous amount of line capacity, but of course enough. I've got my reels loaded 3/4 of the way with monofilament backing, 50-pound monofilament, and then the top quarter is 65-pound diamond braid. And that's it. As far as baits are concerned, nothing beats a fresh bonita strip. Absolutely nothing. Day in and day out, fresh bonita strips are the #1 planer baits. Rig ballyhoo are a second. Mullet strips are also a great bait. Rig mullet, swimming mullet. And of course, there's some artificials you can pull off planers as well, like spoons and plugs. But like I said, day in and day out, that strip bait is going to lead you to success.
Pros Tip, brought to you by Diamond Fishing, the finest monofilament, fluorocarbon, and braided fishing line.
When you're trolling planers, fresh strip baits make a world of difference. And I'm going to show you exactly how to make them. They're really, really easy. Of course, you need to start with a fresh bonita. Your first cut behind the pec fin here is going to be straight, just like this. And I go all the way down to the bone. And then very carefully, you want to just fillet that bonita, pretty much like you would any other fish. You just take your time, you know, nice sharp knife, get it all in there. And you'll notice that indentation of the stomach right there. That's where I'm going to try and just trim all of that meat down. Nice and slowly, just trim that meat. What I want to do is keep somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4 inch of meat left on the fillet. That's what I'm looking for right there, about that density, about that thickness. And now what I'm going to do is actually just start cutting the actual strips before I shape them. There you go. And of course, depending on how large the fillet is, you can get multiple strips out of it. That one's just beautiful right there. And I'm going to kind of taper it. I want the end of that strip to be pointy, so it's got a little bit of flutter and swims, but I want it to be tapered nice and straight. And I don't know, I like all those edges to be really straight. Then what I do with the hole punch, or I should say an ice pick, just a sharp little ice pick. I know that my hook is going to be inserted right in the center there, so I'm just going to poke a hole right in the center. Like I said, the easiest way to do this is with that ice pick. Just drill a hole in there. And then the same on the top. This is where my rigging wire is going to hold that bait in place. So I poke a hole. If you don't poke a hole, and if you try and do it with the hook or with the wire, your bait's going to come out all messed up. But what I really want to show you is the difference between my strip bait, and this is a store-bought strip bait right here that I actually had in my freezer, and I wanted to just show you the difference. I mean, look how freezer burnt that is right there. And this is that stuff you're going to typically get in a tackle shop unless you get lucky and they literally have fresh bonita strips that they recently cut. But a lot of them are going to be this dark, yucky, freezer burn meat versus that fresh, red, delicious flavor. You know, the odor, I mean, that's natural. That's a fresh bait. So that's it. That's the whole process. Obviously, after you're done with one side, flip the bonita over, do the other side. You'll get anywhere from 10 to 12 strips from each bonita. You know, I don't like to freeze them because then you'll end up with this stuff. So try and use them as fresh as possible. And right there is the absolute perfect strip bait.
The award-winning Z Performance line from CV raises the bar. It's not just fast. It's not just fuel efficient. The CVZ is the entire package. It offers the perfect balance, safe, predictable handling during hard turns and at high speed. And most importantly, the Z stays on plane at lower speeds, so it can comfortably handle anything Mother Nature can dish out. Experience the exhilarating ride of the CVZ. Schedule a sea trial today.
When you're in command of a boat with Mercury 400 horsepower Verados, you might start to feel like you're someone that fish should fear, that the water should respect, and that the world should acknowledge. Until you realize you are all those things. The Mercury 400 horsepower Verado. Power, control, and speed in a lightweight package.
Boats get dirty. That's a fact. Thankfully, Rejuvenate Marine uses patented nanotechnology to make your boat cleaning faster and easier, literally cutting your cleaning time in half. Watch this. With highly concentrated biodegradable ingredients across their complete line of cleaning and care products, Rejuvenate Marine lasts longer while providing professional cleaning power that's safe for all surfaces and for the environment. Rejuvenate Marine. Spend more time fishing and less time cleaning. The complete line of Rejuvenate Marine cleaning and care products is now available at Boat Owners Warehouse. Visit your local superstore or shop online and see the difference for yourself. Your local superstore. See if anybody's home here. Back off on that drag. I don't know, maybe little guy up on top or something. Well, that breeze sure picked up, huh? Still nice and calm, but blowing out of the west here. Not giant, but ate that strip bait. Look at that. How awesome is that right there? Nothing like just walking your kingfish. Come on. All right, let's go ahead and get you in the boat on ice. You know, I should mention too, when gaffing fish, when you're alone, take your time. Again, I have to stress, take your time. Try and get that fish as close to the head as possible so you're in full control at all times, okay? Make sure your other lines are cleared, nothing's crossed, and then just carefully bring that fish up and into the boat. Okay, because last thing you want, especially on a kingfish, is those razor sharp teeth right there getting you, especially when you're by yourself.
Rigging Station, brought to you by Wind Rider, the finest foul weather gear for any climate.
Making a strip bait rig, really simple. You certainly can buy them off the shelf at your local tackle shop. They're gonna run you about 25 bucks, but like I said, crafting your own is gonna be much more effective. Make sure you start with some leader spools, some yo-yo spools. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is wind down about 75 feet, a 50 or 60 pound diamond presentation fluorocarbon right on the spool. Make sure that you tie a 75 pound diamond ball bearing snap swivel to the end of that leader, the end of that wind on, before you put it on that yo-yo. My tag end right here. First thing I'm gonna do is take a sea witch. These come in a variety of different colors. As you can see, these are some of my favorite. So we'll start with the actual sea witch here, and these are really a staple. I mean, this rig is incredibly effective. Next, we're gonna take just a little rubber squid skirt. We'll stay with that same theme of the pink and whites, and we're gonna follow that up with a little mylar skirt for flash. This is gonna help protect that strip bait as well, but it's more about the visibility fact. And then there's our tag end of our line where we're gonna tie our hook. And keep in mind, we're fishing an 11-0 hook. This is really important. It's a long shank 11-0 inline J hook. Before we tie the hook on, we're gonna take a piece of single strand Monel or stainless wire. This is heavy wire. This is what's actually gonna hold your strip bait right to that hook. So what we're gonna do is just hold the hook in our left hand. We're gonna go up from the bottom through the eye of the hook, and we're gonna leave about 2 inches of that wire just right there parallel to the shank of the hook. At this stage, I'm gonna take my tag end here, and I'm just carefully going to come back around that shank and just wrap it real tight. So that hook right there, again, is ready to be tied on. That wire right there is what's gonna be used to hold that strip bait. Tie that on. An improved clinch knot works fine. Some guys will put a swivel on the eye of the hook. I don't find that that's necessary, but you certainly can. And the first thing we're gonna do is just slide down our Mylar skirt. Then we're gonna cover that up with a small little rubber squid skirt. Get in there. There we go. And look at that, that looks great already, right? That'll protect your strip bait, prevent it from getting washed out, and create a much larger profile. You could probably just troll that alone right up on the surface and pick off blackfins and bonitas with that all day long. And then we'll take our sea witch. That's just gonna slide right down the line. And there it is. I mean, you're done. That's a strip bait rig right there. Okay, a lot of color, a lot of flash, creates a much larger silhouette on that bait. So it's a combination of the artificial with the natural appeal of that fresh bonita strip. That's what's gonna catch you fish. And then at this stage, you wanna just wrap that around your yo-yo. And again, you can use a rubber band or a piece of tape to fasten that, but of course a rubber band's gonna be the best thing. Carrier varieties on the boat, they're rigged or ready to go. If you get tangled, if you lose one, you could always grab another one or a different color. But real easy to tie. I mean, like it took us what, a minute, 2 minutes, and you're ready to go there, save a bunch of money and catch a bunch of fish. Get hooked up, shop online, and get your hands on the same proven tackle you see on Florida Sport Fishing TV. Our entire selection of technique-specific rods, deadly jigs sold rigged and ready to fish, performance apparel, headwear, drinkware, and even vivid life-size wall murals to show off your trophy catch. All of this and so much more in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Enter FSF TV at checkout and receive a special gift.
What if navigating was as simple as touch and go? It is that simple. The world's first multi-touch MFD chart plotter, Navnet TZ Touch.
Florida Sport Fishing TV proudly utilizes and endorses Boat Outfitters, where owners and builders go for replacement parts and hard-to-find hardware. Motor Guide, precise maneuverability equals better fishing. Tropic Trailer, Florida's largest dealer has the right trailer at the right price.
End of the morning here is really turning on. This fish got some weight to it too. Staying deep. It's like he hasn't tripped the planer. It's weird, but he's on there. It's a perfect scenario where I can use a gesture controller too and just turn that bow right there. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. I mean, I don't understand why I'm straight up and down like that. Look at that, look at that. Shark, I don't know. This fish is just keeping me straight up and down. I slowed the boat down to actually start clearing the lines. And this bait had an opportunity to go a little bit deeper in the water column. I've got to really be careful here because last thing I want is this wrapping around me or my hand or anywhere on the boat. So we've got to always keep an eye on this in case this thing takes off. Oh, I can see a shadow. I can see a big shadow, but I don't know what it is. All I see is a shadow. Little man versus shark right here. It's not what I suspected or signed up for here today, but I think he finally broke me off. Yeah, finally broke me off. Whew. Big shark. Gosh, I don't know what kind of shark that was, but it had to be every bit of 250, maybe even bigger. Absolutely awesome. Again, you never know what's gonna happen when you're fishing alone. You gotta be ready for everything and expect the unexpected. I really didn't think that was a shark. I thought he would have cut me off a little bit earlier, but really, today has just been full of surprises. It really has been full of surprises. I read a lot more fish than I caught. Never found the wahoo I was looking for, and the conditions were pretty good. I was really hoping that I would. Never suspected I'd do battle with a shark right at the end. There's a nice clean cut right there. But that's the world we live in. That's fishing. We'll see you next week.
To learn more about the tactics and techniques seen on today's show and to subscribe to Florida Sport Fishing Magazine, visit floridasportfishing.com and get hooked up.